as powerful as I did, and and you can put each member in the SCC all together, and they can put together their drive and motivation in this, and it couldn't even come close to mine. And this is not a diss. You get it? It's just the reality of my drive.
Why ain't I see you around back when I was down?
What's up, world? It's your boy, Big Court of the Holdin Court Podcast and Legacy Builders. You already know what it is, man. We in here one more again. I got my beautiful oldest daughter. Y'all know who it is. Introduce yourself, daughter.
Rachel Renee, we serving some heat today.
Oh, we definitely serving some heat today, man. Listen, we got a special guest in the building, and I don't say that lightly. And I mean, for real, for real. Mm-hmm. I mean, we had, let me see, I don't know the numbers. I don't want to say, this is the third. You would consider this a third of, you know, these guys I grew up with on these guys. I had his brothers on here about a year or two ago. You know, we finna get into it, but literally, you know, y'all know me coming from Kansas City, Missouri. I grew up on West Coast music, and I've always mentioned these guys when I talk about the music that influenced me even before I became a rapper. So, you know what I mean? Right along, of course, we had your NWAs and all of that, but these guys was right there in the mix at that time. And I had one of the founding members here. Man, give it up for the OG, Havoc The Mouthpiece.
All right, thank you, man.
Serving them heat.
Yeah.
Man, hey, man, love the introduction with this. We're about to serve
the serving some heat.
Yeah, man, I appreciate having you. You know, to have me on your show first and foremost, man. And I watched a lot of your videos, man, and you know, you have a great podcast. And
thank you, brother.
And I can see the professionalism in it, and we all know once you're behind a business and doing something, you know the hard work and the effort and the financial contributions you have to put to something in order to have that professional look.
That's a fact. I appreciate that. And that means a lot, man, coming from you, because again, man, you and your group, y'all inspired me heavily when I was a youngin'.
Man.
Yeah, SCC, South Central Cartel.
I can attest. Part of my
this
childhood.
This is my daughter. I raised her on
that.
I raised her on South Central Cartel.
I drove my daughter crazy. She got tired of hearing that beat.
Hey, so with that said, man, I'm gonna get right into it.
Sure.
So listen, you and I became acquainted, man. We gonna put it out there.
Let's do it, man.
So listen, I had your brothers, you know, I had Young Pride, Cali Pitts, and LV.
LV, Big Pride and Young Pride.
Big Pride, Young Pride, and LV on the show, Holdin Court Podcast. And you weren't there. And so they gave their perspective on, you know, the history and you know, what went, you know, their perspective on y'all's whole dynamic.
And I respect each and every one of them's opinion, first and foremost.
Right. And so before you hit me, Young Pride, you know, he messaged me and said, "Hey, Havoc The Mouthpiece want to come through." Now, mind you, I asked the first time, but you weren't available. So I say, cool, yeah, let's do it. So I go over to my other social media.
Yeah, because I was I
read the message.
Because when he brought you up, it kind of brought back, you know, how you try to bury stuff, so he kind of triggered it back. Like,
hey, let me tell y'all, OG came in hot. OG got in my DM, was like, look, man, you don't even know me like that. I don't know why y'all talk about me like that. Woo, 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 man, that ain't cool. Like, and I was like, so he sent me.
Because I want to respect your show.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And what he don't know is I was like,
yeah,
in the dark. Hey, but I was in the dark, but I was happy you hit me. I was like, yeah, OG. Yeah, come on.
Quick.
Yeah,
and that's good.
And so I was like, because he saw the Snapchat, and the Snapchat did make him look kind of bad. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
it did make him look bad a little bit. The context of it. So we chopped it up, you know, and we got on the phone, and he was like, yeah, man, I respect your show, but nah, bro, nah, like that ain't what it was, like my nigga. So we talked for a couple hours.
I got to tell you everything, my life.
We talked for a couple hours.
Growing up in Chicago, with Michael and Randy.
So I told OG, I'm like, OG, you got to come in, bro. You don't even know. You've been more than welcome to come in, but you're here now. So I appreciate you coming.
I still had a lot of bitterness.
Yeah.
I had been going through personal growth. you know, God's karma that he put you through to identify your gifts and how you can take advantage of your gift in a negative way. And so I had to be stripped of material things.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But once your mind grow to get greed in material things, you lose a lot of the character of the human being that who I was is carried and got caught up in being happy.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
As they say, God giveth, God
yeah,
taketh.
yeah, but this is me within me.
Yeah.
My struggle and my footsteps.
Yeah.
And so when you believe in something as powerful as I did, and you can put each member in the SCC all together, and they can put together their driving motivation in this, and it couldn't even come close to mine. And this is not a diss. You get it? It's just the reality of my drive. You know what I mean? Everybody can't be Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? But they can be in the league and say.
Before we get to that, OG, I want to kind of pull it back and start from the gate. You know? So you originally from Chicago.
Absolutely.
What part
Only
of
member
Chicago?
in the group that wasn't from LA.
What part of Chicago, and how long did you stay in Chicago before you moved to LA?
Okay, I was born on South side of Chicago. Of course, everybody know my father is a Chicago icon, legendary, Walk of Fame, Hall of Fame. They're getting another star. We just got in New Jersey.
Nice.
I went and accepted that for moms. We pretty much in everything. We got 2 songs in the top 100 songs in 100 years in history.
And those songs are from the Chi-Lites.
Right. Have you seen her? And
Have you seen her? And Old Girl.
They made the top 100 songs in 100 years from 1900 to 2000. And that 100 years of music, my dad and them got 2 songs in the top 100.
Wow.
100 years of music.
That's big. That's big.
You get it? Not one, but we got 2.
Oh, yeah.
That's big.
And so, and growing up, man, watching my dad help groups like the Jackson 5 get their first break and getting the opportunity to meet someone from Motown who was in the show with my dad and them, who allowed the Jackson 5 to open up that show. And then they was tearing the crowd up. They going crazy. And the guy who was signed to Motown asking, who is that? So my dad and them introduced him, to the guy that was, I got the poster. And then they wound up meeting the Jackson 5 and taking their music to Motown. And now look, the Jackson 5.
Were you ever around Michael and them?
Man, I stayed with them for summer break, man.
What was Michael like as a kid? What were they like?
Hell.
Yeah?
Quiet and very focused. Because he liked my sister. Him and Randy was putting, we got pictures of him and Randy putting flowers in my sister's hair.
Wow.
Joe taught me how to play pool when I was little. I could barely see over the pool table, man. I was trying to play pool, but Joe was teaching me. Captain knew how to cook good.
Yeah.
The only ones I didn't meet when I was little was the older one, Tito, Jermaine.
Jackie.
I met Reby. I met Revolt, the one that was crazy. I didn't meet her.
LaToya. You talking about LaToya?
Yeah, I met Sylvia was the nice one. But
No, you talking about LaToya.
LaToya, exactly.
LaToya.
Yeah, I didn't meet her.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I met Joe. Because my pops and them was real close with.
And this is in Chicago,
yeah,
Gary.
Chicago.
Okay.
So I grew up, man. I watched my life grow from struggling, and then you can start to see the growth. I went from going to public school to Catholic school, you know what I mean? Then moved to the biggest house on the south side of Chicago, went to school with the Emotions, baby sister, used to go beg money for my birthday from Pop Staple and the Staple Singers, and just all of the groups in Chicago.
So you grew up in duality.
Huh?
You got to see all aspects of life.
Everything,
you had duality.
being backstage, didn't even know what I was doing. I used to go, I was on Soul Train with Don Cornelius as a kid, when Soul Train was in Chicago on Channel 26.
Wow.
And then to watch it grow and go move to California. And, because my dad was one of the first groups that helped blow up Soul Train was on the trailer when they took it to California. Was one of the shows that they used to promote it.
Yeah.
And when you seen it on BET, they got a scene of my dad and them on the actual BET. Remember when it was doing the Soul Train on BET? Yeah, they got a scene of my dad and them doing the singing on the.
Did the
on
other
movie.
kids treat you differently because your dad was famous?
See, man, I was quiet and bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because in Chicago, you got to be tough.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with cold weather.
Right.
And then my mom early on, you know, was one of them type of moms is, you better get it. It's like when you're in the nest like a bird and she say, hey, I'm tired of feeding you. Now you got to get out here and fly. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so me, you know, I had an early, very knowledgeable mind.
Right.
That I can, you know, I knew what was going on.
So you were kind of like a precocious kid.
Yeah, she said, hey, this is what you do. You make some cereal, here's the milk. Yeah, I got up the next day, I don't need you no more. Now I know how to go get my cereal.
Did you have siblings?
Huh?
You had siblings?
Yeah, I had, at the time I just had my sister.
Okay.
And she was like my menace, you know what I mean? And protector.
Okay.
And so, yeah, man, I had a good life, man. You know, my pops, you know, rest in peace. You know, he sacrificed a lot of his life traveling a lot because he was gone a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Back then, groups had to tour, man.
Right.
That's how they
and
got
then
it.
Even when he was home, they rehearsed a lot.
Right.
And that's what I used to try to tell Prodigy and them. Seeing them do it and seeing the music part of it is the reason why. Because remember, singing in hip hop was was forbidding. They know that having singing in hip hop was, you know, was bubblegum.
Right. Right.
And that was one of the reasons that created a conflict with Russell and LV.
Yeah. Well, I want to slow down before we get there.
Like,
So what age did you move from Chicago to LA?
When I came out here on vacation, that's when the Jackson 5 moved to California. And they were staying up in the hill.
Encino.
Right, and that's when I went to stay with them for like about a week, and I used to ride with them to school in the morning, little white van. We used to ride on their little mini bikes. That's when Joe's brother was alive. He was the drummer. His name was Jack. And Jack used to babysit us while everybody was gone, and you know, let us play and watch it in the pool.
Yeah.
And then I met Phyllis Dillis with Janet, because Janet was the only one that wasn't going on the bus with them. So Janet used to be with me and my sister Tawana playing with us.
Was she doing Good Times at this time?
Just had just started.
Okay.
And they had the German Shepherd named Bolo. We used to play with Bolo. And they had the Snake and the Rats. This when the cartoon was out.
The Jackson cartoon.
Yeah, the Jackson 5
Okay,
cartoon.
yeah, I remember that.
Really had the
I remember that.
Snake
Yeah.
And we used to, you know, and we used to play with Bolo. Bolo was big German Shepherd, man. He was in the cartoon. And so, and then one day we was going swimming, and I had a swimming trunk, you know what I mean? So I tried on Michael trunk, man, they made it up to like my thighs, man. That's how skinny Mike was.
Yeah.
And so I had to wear Marlins swimming trunks to get in the
And at the
pool.
time, Mike was younger than you. Or was he older?
No, Mike's
He's older.
than me. He's a little bit older than me. I was born in 62, and I think he's 64, 65, somewhere around there.
Okay. Now I think Mike's 58. I think he's like 58, 59.
Well, I just know he's a couple of years older than me. Because of him, he liked my sister, and she's a year older than me. I'm 61, so yeah.
Okay. And so was that a culture shock for you coming from?
No, they just was like regular. See, when you live in that life, you don't feel like that life.
Well, I'm saying demographically, Chicago to LA culture.
It was definitely different. Yeah. Especially the talking. You know, you go from soda to pop.
Yeah, right.
Soda,
we from the Midwest.
Sandwich,
so
pop to sandwich.
Yeah.
You know, pan pizza to flip pizza. You know what I mean? Like everything's different, you know. Because Chicago got a unique style of food.
Yeah, especially the pizza. Because y'all be having pizza wars down there. Yeah.
New York second. I give them their props.
Yeah.
Okay?
New York and Chicago be battling about the pizza.
You know
because I used to go hang out with Russell and all of them, and Leo Cohen and Kevin Lau when he first came out of college with Flood on. I used to talk about him. He can't stand me, dude.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So you coming from this musical household and a successful one on top of that, right?
Powerful, very successful.
So you guys, when you moved to LA, you moved to South Central or you moved?
No. See, what happened was my grandmother and my mother's brother moved to California, right? Because we used to, talk about it like, because when I was here, I said as a kid at their house, when I get big, I'm moving here. Because when you got here, it was just so pretty. And it was just so sunny. And we on that big 747 TWA and getting
You took it back with TWA. You took it back.
The plane got like 9 rows. And I was like a little kid, like feeling excited.
TWA.
Yeah.
You took it back
huge,
with that.
Man. And it was exciting, for a kid, man. And I'm starting to, now see the growth and, how my father, he made sure we always got to do stuff, you know what I mean? And so to get there, and then when we got there, a captain was like, let the kids come so y'all go have some time together. And because my mother and father stayed at Richard Roundtree house, rest in peace. And I even got a picture of them, when Richard Roundtree and my dad and them, because they was, they was cool and they was doing some things they shouldn't have been doing back in them days. So I was over there hanging out with Richard Roundtree, man. And so we hung out with the Jackson 5 during that time. And man. And so when my family moved here, I graduated from high school and I hopped on the next plane and came to California in January of 1980. And then I went to Southwest College for a semester. And I took a little golf and just, messing around. That's when Joe asked me, did I know how to play drums? Because I called Joe, like, Joe, I need a job, man. What can I do? He's like, I got you, little squirrel. And he was like, you know how to play drums? No. Okay, let me think about it. You know what I mean? So then I wind up, this is the tough part. I started seeing that culture of the drug game evolve.
Yeah, because it went from coke, freebase to crack around.
Correct, because in Chicago, it was a baller thing. And I seen it firsthand. I watched rich people.
That's right.
Right.
Cocaine was a rich people drug.
They had cotton balls and grain alcohol or rum 151 and they was hooking it up. You know
free
what I mean?
base.
Like,
that's that
rich
free
people
base.
Like jury on. I mean, they got fur coats on. And they just like, look, I'm man, I've seen it. Like, this ain't no fairy tale.
No, that's a fact.
To where, I'm just sitting up here trying to get a view.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's 80s.
And so in Cali, it was like, it started booming. The crack, during the freeway Rick era. But this was a little bit before it crack with freeway.
Because they didn't even call it crack. They called it Ready Rock or something like that back then.
Right. And so I wound up getting involved in that. Started cooking for the Cubans, the Jamaicans.
Who taught you how to cook?
Just watching.
Just watching?
Just watching when I moved to Cali, and my uncle and them was doing it. So I used to watch them do it.
Somebody had to teach you how much to put on, what I'm saying?
No, but I just watched.
We can try to test your gangster.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you gotta know how much to whip it with, Because if it don't, but you still gotta know how much to add to that thing.
If it don't go ding, 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 ding.
If it don't come back, then it ain't.
If it don't go ding, 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 and you drop it on the glass and it's not a chip right, they know you good. They know you good.
Yeah. What you used to do when it didn't come back, when it was just bad?
See, a lot of stuff you see, the little gummy kind, you eat gummy and stretch way over, like, you know what I'm saying? You just have to basically let that sit and dry or microwave it.
Yeah, that's right. So we heard, allegedly.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Microwave. But and so the point was that the drug game became acceptable to the streets and to the girls, to the culture, to, if you was a square and you wasn't having that money to finger wave, that's when I was wearing the gazelles. And
gazelles. You took it back with did you have a nugget watch, the anchor, the gold chain with the anchor?
I was wearing the link chains with my name Havoc on it. And I was having a big ring with C-Note, my street name on there, ring. If you go look at some of my early pictures, I was the only one that had jewelry on.
Wow.
I have a question. Did you at the time realize the gravity of that era in real time, or was it after.
Right, because I had already been exposed to it, so it wasn't really looked at bad
That's
to
what
me.
I'm saying.
Because I had started smoking weed earlier, and then, once you start smoking weed, you're hip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only the hip people.
Right.
Let me ask you this question, and this is years ago, but you were probably a teenager, 16, 17, 18, hopping off the porch doing that. And this is just, I guess, a hustler to a hustler, but I'm from a different era. Mine is more or less the 90s.
Right.
I'm curious because you hear about the Freeway Ricky Rosses, the Tootie Reeses, and all of them, right?
Even to our video.
Even Tootie Reese and all of them. But back then in the 80s, you didn't have to be doing a whole lot to make the money. And what I'm asking is a 4.5 or a 9 could go a long way. Opposed to just
when you cut it out.
That's what I'm saying. Because everybody think that everybody that was balling was just getting bricks, and they wasn't.
Yeah, you can get 4.5 and be winning.
That's what I'm saying.
Or
right.
9 piece.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You take that 9 piece, you buck, because you got to go buy fresh stuff from the Slauson or the Compton or the Broadway. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then that's when the troop came in.
Troops, all the troops. Yeah.
You had to have your Buffalinos.
Yeah.
Your Dickies or
the Crocker Sacks, all of that.
Or the Ben Davis. We was big on Ben Davis. And stuff like that. But me, I was more or less the hustler type because I was dealing with the Freeway Rigs. I dealt with the Fila Al boys in Inglewood. Blackwell, Inglewood, like some of these black
What was it like dealing with Freeway Ricky back then in that time?
All I know is when I used to go over there off of Figueroa, one of the spots, it just used to be big trash cans full of everything.
Wow.
And he just makes sure you coming back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get the 9 piece, you wind up getting the 12 piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So was he friendly with it? So would he front it, or you had to be on the deck on
as long as
wood?
you got some money, because this was the time I believe around the thing that was going with the government situation.
With the CIA thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is when we called it White Christmas. This is when the prices and it just really it changed, man.
Yeah, I'm curious. What was a book back then? Maybe 12, 13 out here?
Well, I mean, when I was dealing with them, probably back then they probably was going for like 9 something.
Damn,
like
9?
It's the golden era.
Okay,
wow.
Yeah, but I got to the point when I really got heavy in it, and this was during like the 90s with my peak in it.
Okay.
Like my peak, I probably stopped it around probably like 99. I picked up to like 7 Yickens.
Hold on, bro. 99, you had gold records in the 90s.
I know that. I was making all my money in the street.
You had gold records in the 90s.
Well, they was making all the money. I got you. All the money.
So dig it. So you making money in the street. You doing your thing. So how did you connect with South Central Cartel? What was that?
Ooh, wow. What happened was, after that little street thing I was telling you about, shaking up, I ended up going to jail.
Okay.
Eventually you're going to pay the piper.
Right.
So when I got out of jail, I went to move with my grandmother, but I was in a halfway house. And going home on the weekend, I had to get a job or look for a job. So I wound up getting a job at the Broadway in L.A. And so I used to come out, I had to wear a little suit with the tie. I used to come out early, man, I got to go in here and play the role, right? And this real nice lady used to be sitting out on the porch, drinking coffee and smoking a cigarette. And I was coming, hey, how you doing, And so it became a routine. And so we wound up, striking up a friendship, right? And she wound up, that was Prodigy's mother.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yes. And so one day, I was talking to her coming out, I was, getting dressed, she was outside, I just come out to speak, because they lived above us. And her Prodigy sister came out and was like, Mama, why you always talking to that boy? I said, baby, this ain't no boy, this all man. You know what I mean? And so she, so we, little thing going on right there, right? So I wind up, eventually, me and her wind up being together for like 16 years.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how I became so close to Prodigy.
Okay.
Cali.
Okay,
because
see.
I was with their sister.
Y'all share a child? Y'all have a...
Well, we have she had her son at the time.
Okay.
I raised him from
Right.
1 year old.
Got you.
And at
Right.
the time, then eventually I had a daughter
Yeah.
somewhere, and she accepted my daughter.
Okay. So y'all family, y'all really joined
like,
in? Okay.
Right now, to this day, my daughter called her mama. And
Got you.
I raised her son, Margarito, and
Yeah.
her mother and her, I still call her mom on Mother's Day,
Mm-hmm.
birthdays, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so so that's what happened with that. So I wind up, going up there to see her one day, and then I guess that's when Prodigy was there, and he had walked in the door with a briefcase,
Mm-hmm.
a little briefcase, and so it was, funny to me, to see a little hood, dude come in with Jerry curl with a briefcase, right? And so, me, I'm a nosy motherfucker. I'm curious, like, what's that briefcase? This nigga got money, Jack move, whatever, right? But anyway, besides the joke, I said, what you got in? He's like, I got raps in there. You got raps? Nigga, what's raps? I'm being funny, because, my dad was saying, I watched his records, right? Hit records, you feel me? So I was, trying to pass the teas and pride about what was in this briefcase. And so I'm like, well, spit something. So he pulled out the briefcase, was in the kitchen, and the nigga started spitting, and it was hard, like, sound like Rock Kim. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like that lyrically inclined. Right. And I said, man, you remind me of Eugene Records. Right. And so I just, I never done no music, knew nothing about, music business, nothing of that. But Prodigy was so talented with that wordplay, it gave me it inspired me to run my mouth and put my foot in my mouth. That's what it did. Yeah. Right? And I said, man, you should let me get in, man. I said, I'll hook us up. I'm just running my mouth. I ain't never done that. I'm just lying my mouth.
Now you got to stand on it.
Thank you. I got character. I care about, you know what I mean? And so when I say something, even though I didn't know what I was saying, I had one thing that I knew that I did have was I came from the music. You get it? So what I did know, I knew my Uncle Marshall. Yeah,
you knew you could
get it. And what, the stuff that I knew this group needed, I had already seen my dad and them do it. Right. So I had, how you see stuff. And
So real quick, what South Central Cartel hadn't formed, you just met Pride as a
rapper.
Correct.
This is Prodigy by himself.
Okay.
And so me and him talked, and I guess, what can you do when, you're talking about somebody who really, you know what I'm saying? And then I said, and then I had bragged about who my father was, right? And then down the road, as we got down there, when I was at the halfway house, I cut and went to my dad's concert on Crenshaw, where they were doing the show with Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes and all that. And I brought Pride's sister. Right, we was at the little show, and I was supposed to be at home, the little thing from the halfway house weekend, but I didn't get to the show. But invited the manager at the halfway house to come be at the show. Right. So I wasn't gonna get locked up. I was gonna cover with me because we had to concert together, right? So my dad come off the stage and kissed my girl, Bridget, Prodigy's sister. She cried because she didn't know that my father was really a Chi-Lite. Right.
Oh, so you stunned?
So we there, man. We had a great time, and so eventually, Pride, and then that's when we started, and we took a photo shoot, and we had our first name, and I bought some sweatsuits, some feeder sweatsuits. I got a little name. That's when my name was MC Note. Pride was MC Death. Rhyme Son was MC Hell, and Chaos.
So it was you and Pride. How did y'all go?
He brought them in.
He brought them in.
He brought them in and said,
so he brought in Rhyme Son
and Chaos.
And Chaos.
That was it.
Okay. And Chaos was the DJ.
Right. Chaos was the DJ. We did a photo shoot.
Okay.
We had finger waves, and I had bought the suits. And then when I went to the swap meet and had the Chinese lady to do the sweatsuits and put our names on because of, me, I want to,
You want the look.
Yeah, I want the
look. I have a question, because you said you didn't know much of the music industry, but I feel like you watching your dad and still being around, because everything you're saying right now is branding, marketing.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Remember, I kept saying that I didn't know what I was doing, but I watched and see what they were doing.
Right.
But remember, I kept saying I was observing when Mama told me to make cereal.
Yeah.
You
get it?
Right. Those nuances.
Yeah. This might be the craziest thing I'm gonna say in your interview. I can remember back when I was in my mama's stomach in blackness. I can remember when I first felt life.
Wow.
That's amazing, though.
And trust me, I battled with it. Blackness. But how would you know blackness? You have to feel this. You get it? And then eventually, I probably was born. Because I had to feel that energy. Life is energy. Everything you do in life is energy. I can't move my finger without the energy of me telling my brain the energy to move a finger. I cannot tell you my truth in this interview without the energy of having a great memory that I have. Out of everybody in the group, I got the best memory. None of them can remember. They can't remember half the stuff I did. You get it?
Right.
So, you know what I mean? And so me, I'm not the one that's in a competition for something.
So did you rap at a time?
No, I never rapped in my life.
So you came in.
Like talking.
So you met, right. So you came in. You
didn't have no rap position, didn't have no position. All I had was I was running my mouth position.
Got you. So you just kind of naturally fell into the financier, manager.
Yeah, because once Pride said, okay, cool, right? So now we got to do something, right? And so then he's told me about the other group members who he had been working with eventually. And that's when I wound up going down to the radio station to meet Lisa Cannon.
Okay.
That's when I had started being on the radio, trying to figure something out.
Right.
And then going to get the sweatsuits, setting up and finding a photographer to do photo shoots. And when we first up, we had the name Mafia Style and we had to debate that because it was a gang called Mafia Style with Mafia. You get it? And I knew the main guy from Mafia, Del Dog, from when I was in jail.
Right.
He took me under his wing because I was from Chicago and I'm up in the system not knowing what the going on. He like, this nigga loose. He don't know nothing. Hey, nigga, don't you know your book supposed to be on that? Nigga, we about to fight. And I'm like, really? Oh, let me put my shit. I'm just saying, that's the shit I had to learn.
And Del Dog was from Main Street, right?
Yeah, rest in peace. Del Dog, Del Dog, Big Herb, I knew all of them. But I knew all of them from Del Dog. You get it? So when when I got out when I went to jail, that's when I met Del Dog. And when I got out, I didn't know that he was from Mafia.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about no gang.
Right.
You get it?
Right.
And in 82 or 1, that shit was fresh. Del Dog wasn't that old in 82 when I went to we was in Cedar. First we was in Cedar, and then we wound up going to Oakwood after you do the little, pre-thing. And they had a little fight because it was the Super Bowl and they poured water in there. They want to watch racing. We want to watch the Super Bowl. And they wanted to pour water in the TV. So, it was ready to scrap. So, I'm sitting around like, Del Dog, why you got the water on? And he took me under his wing.
Yeah.
And so, so we figured if we use the name Mafia Style, we're going to get tagged as gang members from Mafia. And so how can we, and back then, Bloods, Crips, different gangs was really beefing hard.
That's right.
And so if you want your music to be able to be everywhere, you need a name that can be culturally
accepted, whatever, neutral.
Right, but understand that we want to represent all of the culture.
Right.
Still be distinct.
Because if you say you from Main Street and you talking about the baddest gang, then every gang in LA gonna test you.
Exactly. Right.
They're gonna test you. You get it?
Right.
But if you say all the gangs in LA is hard, they're gonna respect you because anybody can.
So this is why y'all came up with South Central Cartel, because it was all encompassing.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
That's the name we wind up accepting as a group that Lover G came up with.
Okay.
Lover G came up with that name.
And so So you guys didn't have defined, your position wasn't necessarily defined
Man, I
starting
didn't know
out.
how to rap, talk. Nigga, I
Yeah.
wound up becoming the West Coast Flavor Flav too big.
Right.
By
That's a
accident.
fact. That's a fact.
By accident.
Yeah. Because we just heard the voice. Just
Right, by
mouthpiece.
accident though.
Yeah. So hold on. I want to ask you this real quick. So the names, okay?
We didn't went through name change.
No, but this is what I'm finna ask you. So you're Havoc, Havoc.
Correct.
The Mouthpiece.
Correct.
Then it's Havoc, Havik.
Correct.
Rhyme Son. Now,
It was a big beef over that name.
that's what I was finna say. Now on the East Coast, unbeknownst to
then
y'all,
another beef came.
there's a
But
Havoc.
there's two beefs. There's the inner beef,
Yeah.
and then there's
So-
the West Coast, East Coast beef.
Okay, let's go with the inner beef.
Yeah.
It was an inner beef with
With
y'all's
me
name.
and Rhyme Son over the name Havoc.
Really?
Why you think we spell it different?
I just thought y'all was trying to be
And that's
cool.
how we came up with the code name of Mouthpiece and Rhyme Son.
So how that go? So what? One day you just said,
Remember,
I'm Havoc.
didn't you hear me say we was called MC Hell, MC
Right.
Death? We had, and then we wound up changing our names again. And then they all fell off and went different ways. And
Yeah.
then Prodigy wound up doing some stuff with an East Coast label with Prodigy.
Okay.
And that's when he changed his name from Death. And then we had Chaos and Mayhem. Remember, Prodigy's next name after Death was Mayhem.
Yeah,
That's
he said
when we
that.
was Chaos
He said
and
that.
Mayhem.
Yeah.
And they did an album as Rap World. And I was featured on that album still as MC's Note. That's when we got our first song on the radio that was called Smooth Criminal.
So just by pure coincidence.
It's a lot you
hold
don't
on.
even know in this
So
journey.
hold on. So
It's a whole lot of
no, I want to
mystery.
touch on this. So Mobb Deep, these
Right.
two kids from the East Coast that y'all had never heard of, just so happened they're Havoc and Prodigy too. And then
No,
y'all
no,
on the
no,
LA
that-
Havoc and Prodigy.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, the thing about it is, when we were Havoc and Prodigy, they was like 10, 11. Remember, we became Havoc and Prodigy in 89.
Right, facts.
You know,
Yep.
Prodigy became Prodigy in 88. See,
Right.
the names start transforming. Remember, I was MC Note, because my street name is C Note
Right.
for money. And so I just put an M in front of the C Note and started calling myself MC Note. Then Prod name was MC Death. Rhyme Son was MC Hell, the original four. Remember, it's only the original four. That was Mafia style. We took pictures of that. Like, I had on Gazelle, I had a finger wave, Chaos had a finger wave, Prod had a finger wave, and Rhyme Son had a curl.
Yeah.
And we had on black feeler suits.
Yeah.
And then, when, like I said, I was at the swap meet getting the names put on the suits, right? And the Chinese lady put a star on Prodigy's name, MC Death. For some reason, I don't know why she did. I don't know if she was experimenting, just fucking around, was bored or something.
Right.
And Ryan's son took that shit personal.
Mm.
And me and him ain't never got along since the lady put the star on Prodigy. I ain't got a fucking star on my shit. I paid for it. But she mad at me for something the lady did at the swap meet, and
Yeah.
it's been like,
So hold on. So
A
you're
grudge,
not so
everything.
so you're not even being funny. For real,
I'm
you
talking
and
about the honest to God.
so
my
you
right
and
up to
you
God.
and Rhyme Son, y'all kind of have had a rift that started with the name.
Started with the name from a swap meet from a lady who
Who came with the name first? Who called who had it
Okay,
first?
that came down the road, the Havoc name. So after the Chaos and Mayhem thing, right? It was only Prodigy and Chaos.
Okay.
And Chaos. Prodigy name was Mayhem.
Okay.
Only other name that could go with that was Havoc.
Got you. Yeah.
Remember, all three of
Yeah.
them, mass confusion, construction,
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
So Prod told me that'd be a good name. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be happy. Then he turned around and said it to Rhyme Son.
Okay.
And now he said, oh, I like
Okay.
it. And so he told Prod, well, I'm gonna lead rapping shit. I ain't, And so my ego,
Yeah.
being 100.
Yeah.
My ego, nigga, I got money and I'm balling and I'm a celebrity kid. Ego.
Right.
I'm only
Yeah.
talking ego.
Yeah.
No disrespect. But
Yeah.
I'm speaking
No, that's
to
real
me. Like,
shit.
I can speak my
Transparency.
own truth.
That's right.
My
Transparency.
ego, nigga, well, I don't care about you rapping, nigga. I can talk good. Nigga, I got jewelry. I'm feeling pretty boy. I'm handsome.
That's real
I got
shit,
long
though.
Hair.
That real shit.
Girls chasing me crazy. You know
Like,
what
nigga,
I mean?
I'm causing havoc.
Right,
nigga.
exactly.
Talking
Yeah,
about,
like,
nigga.
you feel me?
Yeah.
That's how I got mouthpiece.
Yeah.
That's how that came with.
For sure.
And so now me and him going at it about the name.
Mhm.
Okay. I tell me, well, I'm rapping, so I'm like, well, nigga, I have the mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was that type of thing.
Yeah.
So, in order to the stubbornness of both of us,
you had to make a distinction.
He decided to change the spelling.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And which he did.
To make a distinction, yeah.
Right. And because I wasn't going to change my name. You get it? And I took the HAVOC off the top before I told you.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So when Pride said it, I immediately, let me look it up. I read the dictionary, you know what I mean? It said Havoc. And so when I seen Mayhem, so it all made sense. And remember when we did the Chaos and Mayhem.
Right.
Right. So Pride had already changed his after that album, that then Prodigy changed his name from Mayhem, because that album didn't do good on the rap world was the name of it. And then he met Tony and Rob, and they was dealing with Havoc Records, right? And Easy Mobb Deep, who produced a great producer from the East Coast.
Right.
And they produced Pride's EP, The Prodigal Son. And that's when he became Prodigy.
Got you.
But because he couldn't use the name from the computer, and they were trying to get the album put out, and that's how he came up with the unique spelling Prodigy.
Got you. Okay.
So
that's dope history. That's dope history. So let me ask you, OG. So you got money, it's the late 80s. And then you have the emergence of Ruthless. You see what Eazy's doing. Were you in the know of Eazy and Jay Prince?
Absolutely, I was following them like I said, remember what I'm saying? I'm encyclopedic. Man, you can't tell me about nobody on this music game about where they started at, what labels they was on, who was the CEO. I done set up in Priority Records with the owner.
Yeah.
I done walked up in there kicking it with Mac 10. I met Dave Weiner and Duffy Rich, who gave
Shout out to
Dave.
Dave been on the show.
See, I know all of them.
Yeah.
They didn't know none of them. There ain't nobody in the group who know any of these people like I did.
So let me ask you this. So what was the first move that you put in place for South Central Cartel?
Was discovery. If in order to do anything, they have to know who you is. In order to know who you is, you have to have a look. Remember, photo shoot, sweatsuit, look. You get it?
Yeah.
Some already thank you, people. I didn't even know this, but I'm doing it. That's what I said, but I'm doing it. But it costs money, but I'm having money because I'm hustling. I done already adapted to street game.
Right.
I'm already a sponge.
He's the original investor.
Yeah.
You get it?
So is this where y'all, so at what point did y'all decide to do GWK? Was that at the beginning?
That's coming.
Okay.
So when I go down to the radio station, Pride gave me a cassette with 6 songs that him, Ryan, Son, and Chaos did. Chaos did the beats at that time. So he was producer, DJ. Ryan, Son, and Pride did the raps on them songs. I wouldn't know nothing. This is stuff they was doing that I didn't know nothing about. So I went and bought some TDK cassettes, gave them to them, and they recorded the song. And I go down to K-Day to meet Lisa Cannon. Right? While I'm at the radio station, I bump into my dad and the road manager, not knowing I'm little Squirrel, and he's the Chi-Lite old road manager. They're shopping music to the radio station to play. And we strike up a conversation with and then he found out I'm little Squirrel, so now we excited, going crazy in the radio station, right? Now I give him a cassette. He calls me, oh man, the guy's rapping. Music is garbage. Not mine.
Yeah.
Not mine, right? So I don't want nobody looking at me like this is mine. Right. But I don't know. All I know is they gave it to me.
You're getting the feedback.
And I'm like, thank you.
You're getting the feedback.
So once he said that, he hooked me up with a producer named Chris Jamarama Johnson. Now, we go to Chris Jamarama Johnson. The first whole South Central Madness album was done by Chris Jamarama Johnson.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
White Boy.
Okay, wow.
So we go to White Boy. He teaches us how to structure music. He teaches us how to add music now to them dry beats with hi-hats and snares with no music.
So hold on. So the White Boy produced, I Get My Roll On and all that?
All that stuff was sampled with Pride to go listen to music.
Yeah.
We'll go to the White Boy house.
Yeah.
And he'll take Pride's idea and do it.
Wow.
Your whole history is
undone,
ain't it?
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's how we first started.
Okay.
And so we was getting frustrated because now we're starting to make music now. And so our first session, Prod, Brian's son, and a guy named Westside Player wrote 4 bars each for me, right? A verse. Never rapped in my life, never been on the mic in my life, and now I'm up to bat. Right? They just got up in there, these niggas polished and killing it, right? So I'm up in there, I'm right?
That nigga said nervous.
So I get up in there, everybody keep up for shot time, just believe in the ring before a showdown. Yeah, and they was like, next.
So you said I'm gonna stick with this money thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. I'm embarrassed because, you know, I'm doing something that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm saying in my mind, right? Because I know the words, right? But what I ain't doing is I don't know that these words have to go in the pocket.
Right.
They never took the time to teach me. They never took the angle to show me because they was all very concerned with their personal growth and perfection. And so, and you know what I mean? And so when you at a studio now, you excited, and now, you know what I mean, you get music now, getting good, you know, structure, the hooks now, we're making good hooks now, and and we know our stuff is sounding good now.
Yeah.
It's not perfected,
Right.
but we're making progress.
Yeah.
And so I see this. So now I'm wearing Chris out. Nigga, every week, now Chris getting tired of us because we run through it. Now we sitting at Chris house, we done paid for a session. This nigga up next week.
So you're financing studio time,
All
you're
that.
financing production,
Everything.
photo shoots, everything.
All the
So you're the
photo
sole
shoots.
financer at this time,
Absolutely.
financier.
I was just about to say, and I have a question about that because I feel like with personalities that are, I feel like when you're strong-minded, you're strong-willed, but you also can kind of like not be in the back, but you don't say everything that you're doing. You just like, I'm
Never.
handle it.
I
think it could go, yeah.
I don't care. See,
Right.
when you're not caught up, I grew an eagle, but when you're not caught up in a process that you know nothing you're doing,
Yeah.
and it's fun.
You're just
Look,
doing
this
it.
is fun to me.
Right.
Like this is a kick. Like
Right.
I got a pocket full of money.
Yeah.
I'm looking good. I'm driving pretty cars. I got
Yeah.
lazy phones, and everybody there's an envy to that.
Yeah.
But I don't care because I'm taking this money and I'm investing in the growth of us.
Do you feel like they appreciate us? Right.
Shows,
Yeah.
right? I'm getting the clothes. I'm looking for photographers. We're doing photo shoots everywhere. And once we got to the point to where the music started sounding good, my next move. The next studio.
Right.
Now I'm calling big studio.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to pay the big price. I'm going to buy
I'm curious. I'm curious because you're doing reel to reel, probably
Yeah,
at this
real
time.
to real.
Which is
I'm
expensive as
on
shit.
my way. You see,
Expensive
I'm on my
as
way.
shit, yeah.
Nigga, to go buy 3
Yeah.
2-inch reels,
Yeah.
that's like $600-$700.
That's right.
Then
That's
you're
right.
paying $60, $70, $80 an hour for the studio.
Yep.
And now
You gotta pay for the
but
engineer
look,
and all
each
that
time
too.
You gotta rewind and
Yep.
do a vocal. Sometimes you gotta split it.
Splice it, you gotta splice it, yeah.
So I'm spending a lot of
I was
money.
finna ask you, how much money do you think you spent before y'all got to Warlock, which is where didn't
No, you mean quality. Huh?
quality before you got to
first
quality?
deal.
How much was you in to South Central Cartel?
Okay. I started around the summer of '86 when I got out of jail. All right, so the early days, not much, right? You talking about buying some sweatsuits, you talking about getting a photographer, right? You talking about buying some cassettes. So, you know,
Yeah,
some minimum money, some honey,
right.
some honey, you know, maybe
Okay.
close to 1,000 when it's all said and done.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then when you start spending $25 an hour and you're doing 8, 9, 10 hours, and then you're doing 3, 4 days, like Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays every week, you know, as you develop. And then that starts to go over months, right? And then years. Then now you're starting to go to a big studio after you do the pre-production. This is how I learned how to master making music, because we created a system where I know I was part of creating the system, right? And so when we started going to the big studio, now the sound enhanced it.
Yep.
You get it? Now everything's in pocket. The stuff that we couldn't perfect, these studios and engineers.
So you got better engineers and mixers.
Right. And then you go from there, like, well, we missing something. Well, you got to master. What the fuck is mastering?
Yeah. Mastering was expensive.
Now I'm over at Bernie Grumman.
Bernie Grumman.
I ain't going to the half.
He gonna hit you for $3,000-$4,000 for the
I'm
master.
going to the best though. Listen to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to Paramount Studio. I'm going to Kitchen Sink, which is our first studio with Matt and Sean, who was mixing our music at the time. And all this costing money, man.
So you're taking on this arduous
Then I'm feeding everybody.
Okay, so you're taking on this arduous task of being the financier. How much do you think you spent before y'all got the quality?
Well,
I'm asking for a reason.
Right. Okay, I'm talking about feeding us, clothing. I'm talking about getting shows, places, driving.
Roundabout.
I'm talking about just a lot. Man, probably.
Think maybe 20, 30 bands?
Oh, more than that.
50,
So this is even
We're talking
before.
about yeah.
So this is even before you get into working radio, street
6
promoters.
years, man.
Okay.
Before we got a deal.
So 100, say 100. Because this is before street.
I wouldn't say 100.
Okay.
I would say minimum between 40 and 60, high maybe 60 to 80.
Okay, and you're the only one spending money.
99.99999.
Do you feel like your efforts were appreciated? Not only the money, but everything that you were doing.
Why? Now, why? And so let me say this. Disclaimer. Let me say this. So this is not to be divisive or disrespectful, but we want to allow this brother to tell his lived experience.
And that's the reason why I'm on your show, because if it wasn't for what was said in the way it was said, and they would have spoke the truth,
this is why
I would have been good with that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be here today because I'm not out to get into negative stuff.
But you do have the right to author your own narrative and tell your truth. So
and that's what I was trying to say to you. And it was a little agitated.
No, it's all good.
Because it had built up. And then as you grow, you understand,
So let me ask you, OG, why do you feel like you weren't appreciated? And what indications did you have that you weren't appreciated?
Man, my receipts is too cold, homie. They cold receipts. And the whole career, we probably did South Central Madness.
In Gas We Trust.
Gas We Trust, Three Prodigy, and Havoc album. I did the Murder Squad. And I pretty much was able to be the main person involved in getting these deals. You know what I mean? Having that hustle and grind. But there's a lot of stuff that plays big parts for me to play my part. But in order for me to play my part, I helped them get to play their part to help me get it from the beginning.
Right.
And so I didn't help money from soundtracks, everything. I didn't went out and hustled.
Tales from the Hood.
All that. Prodigy have done records, never asked me to be on their own song. Young Prod did 2 albums. I ain't on nothing. Rhymeson did 2 LPs, never asked me to do nothing. LB can't stand it, so I would never expect to be on his stuff. In spite of all of that, every time I got an opportunity, I reached out. I reached out, man. You know what I'm saying?
So it was no reciprocation.
Selfish is in self. You get it? Because my ability that I didn't know at the time was the gift that I gained in the end. But when someone can't even be grateful enough to break a piece of crumb of their bread with someone who's been slicing and sharing bread from day one. And if it was about money, right? We all look for success. And then success is the reason for success is to get some money. Correct? I had money. So money, I wasn't driven. I grew up, I had money. I lived it, I experienced it. I know the demons of it. I seen what it corrupted my dad and members and other people I seen, from not knowing. And sometimes I'm grateful for maybe the lack of some of the success that I should have got, because maybe I would have been hanging more out with Russell and seeing glimpses of the things that I saw that they never got to see, that I knew from my conscience. I don't want to be in that. But I want to be successful like that. Not what you do behind the scene and your personal, what I mean, without getting into it.
I was finna ask, OG.
Yeah, I'm OG.
What did you see?
I've been around the Russell Simmons, the Leo Cohen. I've been around the white boy Brett Ratner.
Yeah.
I've been around
that's the director boy.
Andre Harrell. I met Puffy when he first got his deal.
What did you see? Hold on. You can't just glaze over that. What did you see?
Right.
What did you see with Russell that you was like, I'm good on that?
That's a tiny.
Yeah.
We was at a club called the China Club. It's in New York. Everybody knows the China Club. And me and Russell was going out that night because we had a bet going on for a G. And so he was taking me to this club to make me look like a fool so he can win $1,000 off of me, because I was doing all this bragging to Russell one day about some females, right? Russell, we just saw Havoc in Houston. Oh, he was with this fine female. Oh, we just saw Havoc. Oh, man, you should see that other girl he was with. Pull up to the Source Award with the finest girl at the Source Award. Tupac pull up to, man, you come on stage. I can't go, Pac, my girl's gonna go crazy, right? This is when Pac went crazy at the Source Award, you know what I mean? And that's when I got in the limo and Warren G and the twins and all of them just put their head down when she got in the limo, right? And so we was at the China Club, and so Russell pointed out to this particular female, and so I had to accomplish, the bet with this particular female. So now I'm talking to Fab Five Freddy from Yo MTV Rap, right? So me and Fab Five, we chopping, right? And I'm like, this damn Russell, right? So we smoking some Cali weed, right? And so we get to talking, and he was like, oh, you can't talk to me, I'm deaf in my ear right here. I said, you really? Y'all like, man, I'm deaf in this ear. And so we started laughing, and you would know, because if you ever ask Fab Five Freddy if he's deaf in his left ear. And I'm deaf in my right ear. And so we were sitting up there laughing, smoking some weed, and I had some green shorts with some long ass high white socks on. And so he pointed to the girl over there, and I was like, man. So I go over there, man, trying to concentrate a little better, whatever, right? And they was like, phone, like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't happening, right? So I was like, bartender, bring me gin and juice. So give me a little gin and juice on. I'm trying to perk up my little game again. Like, damn, so I check my roll. So do I got a cage? I got to get Russell if I don't win this bet, right? And so I started macking to the one I was supposed to get, and she still acting funny. So I started getting at the other one, and she started acting a little better and better. So my game, juice kicking in now. So now I got him going now, right now. Russell creeped over, right? He's like, oh, so he got him going now, right? So they come over and introduce Russell to him or whatever, so they go off, right? So I spit game and get her to, come continue the evening or whatever. And so the girl come back crying, like in hysterics. And so I'm like, what the hell going on? I'm like, what? And I'm looking at Russell, he got this crazy look on his face. I'm like, damn. And so she was like, I'm ready to go, right? So she was like, hey, look, I'm gonna call you a cab, but I'm still going with him, right? She told her friend, hey, whatever, right? So we in a limo, right? With Kenny, this Russell's limo driver. So we stopped and we get some Asti Splamante, some wine and shit. Russell don't drink, but he smoked a little weed or whatever, right? So we smoking some weed, so I got the little bunny right here, and I'm sitting right here, and Russell sitting over there, right? And we roll, and he got this look on his face, right? And I'm talking smack to Kenny, right? Kenny like, what's going on? I was like, man, Russell crazy, man. Like, we up in the club and then you got the girl going crying and woo, woo, woo. So we pull up to the Pennsylvania hotel, right? So me and the girl getting out the limo. And Russell like, what you finna do? I said, what's wrong with you mean when I'm finna, I got this pretty female with me. What you mean when I'm finna go do? Right, so it was like weird, no, it's just like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I said, man, so you wanna come up, man? So now we up in the room, right? And make a long story short, because I can't get into these details. That'll put me in a bad situation.
Yeah.
But in the end, he was trying to, you know, pretty much make a situation happen that she wasn't with.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And it even got to the point to where I can see this nigga. And I just was like, you ain't gonna never get a girl.
So what did you do in that situation? Was you like,
Man,
no, stop that shit? Or was you like, man, you gotta go?
I was just basically told, I don't want to hear about that. And I was laughing.
Yeah.
And
So what they're saying, the allegations against Russell here.
Well, he got, in Cali, he got 28.
No, he in Bali, not in Bali.
Right,
yeah, but I'm saying.
In California,
right.
He got, and with Brett Ratner. You know Brett Ratner?
Yeah, the director. Yeah,
they was in a hotel somewhere with some girl or whatever. But yeah, Brett was cool.
So I guess what I'm saying is, per that story, that's not necessarily far-fetched of what they're saying about Russell, the allegations against him now.
You see pictures with Kamora Russell. I remember when Russell first met her, I was at the Fat Farm opening, grand opening. I was at the party when they opened up the store. Russell was dating another girl before he met Kamora.
Yeah.
I knew Russell when he first started dating Kamora.
But I guess what I'm saying is, you know, he got charges against him now. So per what you know of him and doing business with him, you feel like the shit is not far-fetched? Like,
well, I'm not going to be a judge or say it was far-fetched and what's going on, but he has multiple allegations in multiple states.
Right.
California and New York. He has a gang of them in California.
Crazy.
And he's in Valley. Like he goes live on there with some girl. I don't know if that's his girlfriend or whatever, but they be working out doing yoga.
The Pilates and shit he be doing.
But you know, Russell taught me a lot the hard way.
What do you mean by that?
Because he was very gifted with where you wouldn't think Russell thinking capacity was powerful as it is. He had this Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope, make you think he, you know what I mean?
Make you think he's slow.
Yeah. And I peeped that out.
He really ain't.
Shit to him.
Yeah.
He be like, why you? He said, nobody talks to you like that. Well, who the fuck is you? I'd be like, he'd be like, why you talking? I'd be like, damn, that nigga kiss your ass like that. That's how I be talking to him.
Yeah.
I like, they kiss your ass like that. I'm like, man, my dad taught me better than that. You know, like, because he never knew who my dad was.
Oh, wow.
He didn't find out until he went to, my dad and performed at Michael Jordan's birthday party at Michael Jordan's club or whatever. And I think Russell was there and he found out then eventually when I did the SCC thing song.
So you guys, the first SCC, excuse me, South Central Madness.
Right, first album.
Yeah, first album.
But we had did, Living in the Crime Wave was done first.
But that was the first national album.
Because he brought, all them came back.
Yeah.
Me and Prodigy had moved on. We did Living in the Crime Wave.
Right.
And that album was ready to go.
Yeah.
And then Prodigy was saying, look, man, I think we're about to get a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know,
so the
because
deal
we got
came,
all this hot music now. We didn't that hot now.
So were you instrumental in securing the deal with Quality for South Central Madness?
Absolutely. I wound up hooking with a company called, with a friend of mine named Willie James from a company called New Concept. New Concept was in Hollywood. And so I went to New Concept because I got tired of looking for a deal. So I got this company to help me to put the record out independent. So I was on the verge of going to put it out in the
Okay.
And so he had already shot the photos for the cover, man.
Yeah.
The album was already done, I had already recorded. I paid for all that.
Yeah.
And then he decided that someone was in the company who was working with the Bloods and Crips. Right?
Oh, Rodney from Dangerous.
Right. And he
from
knew,
Dangerous, yeah.
He knew Russ Regan, my godfather. Rest in peace. Who was running Quality Pump.
Right.
And said, hey man, and took the cassette, the finished South Central Madness cassette. It was done. And Russ and them liked it. And they gave us a $50,000 production deal. And I got $20,000, part of my money of that production deal of the $30,000. And make sure the group got some money. And then I took 10 of my 20. I didn't even spend my money on me. I took 20 of my 20. I spent 10 on Prod equipment to go to the Guitar Center and brought him $10,000 worth of music equipment and spent the other $10,000 on a party at the Palace, which is across from Capitol, which is the club that's called the Avalon now. Yeah. I gave a big party for our first party. I spent $10,000.
Wow.
Just listening to you, like, and hearing your experience, and even just going back to what you said when you first came with the ego. Do you feel like you had to develop an ego to protect just your heart, your generosity, your ambition, everything? Just almost like, do y'all not see? It took me
to damn near to the end to get there, because I got many warnings of the character from even close people. And then after you didn't quit and, got in street situations and all these things that should have been detoured me, the warning signs that I could have took and could have moved on. But I'm no quitter. I live by this. And sometimes it can be a fault. Never start something that you ain't willing to finish. Because if you stop along the way, you never meant it from the beginning. And what I told Pride, give me a chance. I promise you I'll make this happen. And it's my character of who I was at that time before my ego, the music, or whatever it is that went after that. I was still, naive in the sense of just trying to find my way in life. You're young, college wasn't really, knocking my thing, the step was too easy, didn't have no, no energy on my, it's just knowing that I had something. And then when I got in that street life, I always knew that God told me, I'm gonna get you. This ain't you. And so I knew I had to hurry up and get away from that. But what can I do to get away from that? Right. So when I found the music, it gave me a purpose for this hustle to hurry up and use that. I've been there.
You know I know exactly what you're talking about.
And so, but I'm paying the consequences by going to the county jail and being able to get knowledge to make a song like County Blues, and mad because the girl ain't brought me my
hold on real quick.
40.
So real quick, OG, I gotta ask you, bro. So listen, South Central Madness classic album. I'm like 14 when that bitch came out, right? I'm jamming that thing. I get my roll on. County Blues, one of the hardest jail songs, right? And I remember County Blues.
It's the first original song about jail.
So dig it, bro. So I'm on there and I hear this nigga come on.
On the beginning?
Yeah. Feeling these blues.
I must be dreaming. I can't be dreaming.
Yeah. So
with all these bitches around me, I know him.
And I know that punk. And I know that punk. That's what you said. You said, and I know that punk, right?
Motherfucker.
So hold on. So you said one thing. You said, and my bitch still ain't brought me my wet 40. I didn't know what the hell you was talking about, OG. What's a wet 40?
Well, back in the days, you used to be able to get money in the county jail, but there was a limit per visit. Right, and you can get a couple of visits based on your hour. You can break it down in 2 visits and get 2 visits, but you was only allowed that visit to get $40 max. But because a lot of people used to put drugs on the money, back in different ways, So they used to do is they'd dip your $40 or whatever money you got. If you got 20, they'd dip it. But by being the max 40, you know, a nigga like me was getting max 40.
Yeah.
So I had to max it out on the song. I had to 40, you feel?
Yeah.
And so the wet 40 come from when you were in the county jail back in the days when you was allowed to get money. You know what I mean? To go to the store, you had to have, you know, cash money.
Okay.
And so,
I hadn't been to jail yet. I was a kid, so I was like, wet 40, what is that? This shit threw me.
Yeah, you be on the phone like, man, you ain't brought my wet
30 some years later, I found out.
She won't even accept my collect card.
Yeah.
She won't even accept my collect card.
Yeah, now that was a classic, you know, yo talking on there made that song, you know, because it was a chorus on that song. It was, but no, that was a hard song.
Yeah, it's just basically giving you insight because everything that they got from their verses in that song came from me. I went over every detail that I was experiencing. Shoulders on the wall, hands in your pocket.
So you was the only one that had been to jail?
Huh?
You was the only one out the group that been to jail? Okay.
And so how can you write something if you wasn't in there to write it? So I had to give them insight. So when they telling me, shoulders on the wall, put your hand in, you know what I mean? You know, when you going through all that stuff, you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah, so let me ask you this. So y'all rapping, you do South Central Madness. Then after that, there's Quality Records. Then you come with In Gats We Trust. Is this when LV is incorporated?
Yeah, well, LV was always a part of us, but he was just like the voice. That's how you got the name
chorus.
LV, the voice.
Yeah.
And that was Pride's homie. And LV was dibbling in the street, you know what I mean? On another level, you know what I'm saying? Like he was doing some demons at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so Pride wanted to get him out of there because he had the voice.
Yeah.
And so we had did a song with LV back in the day with my dad and them called Love Is the Mac with the Chi-Lite. It was on that Rap World album I was telling you about.
Yeah.
So that's when the part about the Chi-Lite part of me had started to come out. And, you know, and that's when, you know, my dad and them gave LV a lot of props. And so when after the South Central Madness album, we was dealing with Russell. And Russell didn't want to sign LV. He felt like singing on hip hop didn't go. And so that was totally a Russell Simmons decision when we went to do the deal with Def Jam. Russell didn't want to sign LV. And then eventually, after he saw G's on the Move video, he changed his mind because it was a shootout at the video. Brett Ratner shot the video, by the way.
Oh, wow.
And, and he shot the SCC thing video. And so, they called him Brett Ratner, right, to get the footage. Well, Def Jam, the footage. The police want the footage from the shootout because during the shootout, the camera was rolling and they got the whole shootout that happened at the
Some
video.
of it is in the video.
It's all throughout
it's
the
in the video.
It's in the video of the shootout.
Yeah.
But and so when they contacted Def Jam, Russell was like, what you talking about? The Def Jam people. So he called Brett Ratner. And that's when Brett snitched me out about that G's on the Move because I got Brett to shoot both videos. I took the budget from the Havoc and Prodigy video and the budget from the SCC thing, Murder Squad, which both the projects out of the company, and I gave him 2 budgets to shoot 2 videos and use all the equipment so I can get the big equipment and still shoot it on the other. You get it?
Right.
And knowing you get it. So I was learning. I was.
So let me ask you this, OG. Were any of the other members, were they involved with some of these decisions or were you just moving autonomous from the group?
Right. Pride was step for step with everything.
Okay. All right.
Pride, because that's the only one that that did quit. That was the only one that I got to the point to even when I first started, it was for him. And then along the way, if everybody quit and it just wound up with me and him, it still turned out what I had originally started with. And then the biggest, I believe, for me, I don't consider it a mistake, is that when we knew we was ready and we had to have the Prodigy album pretty much done, polished, ready to go. And it would have did the same thing South Central Madness. Because we would have got all of that first power on that record. And then I think the situation would have been more humbling for the other ones. Because me and Prod would have maintained the focus of being the two, of him making music now and grew to being a great producer, and me growing to be a better businessman. I've never been the best businessman, but no one could ever deny that no one can out-hustle me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When Leo Cohen can say that if he had 10 of me, he can change the music game in the meeting up in Frisco with all them in there, with his whole staff. You know, I took Kevin Lau on his first promo tour.
I have a question. At the time, especially when you were navigating all these different dynamics, did your dad ever intervene? Did you ever tell your dad?
He never knew. He was shocked. He was shocked and proud. No one ever looked. I ain't the one to go around trying to, because it was so hard, and then I started going through the frustration parts of it. You know what I mean? You start to see like, damn, Dad, like now I'm starting to understand it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm starting to see what my dad
was
really
dealing with, what he was dealing with. Yep, that's a fact.
You know what I mean? And now I'm easing off a lot of the grudges and pain I was feeling towards Dad because of the not being there and the way he was, always asleep or tired or gone, you know what I mean? Because of the work he had to put in, the sacrifices. And when you're a kid, you don't see
you don't understand it. That's right. Yep, that's right.
And so when I started to see the work I had to put in and seeing I was doing a lot of the work as far as the networking though, you know, Prod did all of the creating.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, Prod was the genius when it came to the music.
I think Prod was an underrated producer too.
Very. I always said that.
Yeah.
And then Prod, he catered and gave too much love to his cousin. He let his cousin kept him. You know, there's a lot of
cousin
stuff.
Who?
Ryan's son's Prod's first cousin.
Okay.
And that's the reason why he was able to stay around. Because there was so many times that
was Ryan's son problematic?
Very.
How so?
Just his attitude on songs and confusion and whining and everywhere we went, complaining. It's just a lot, man, with him. It just was a lot.
You said something a little while ago, and I want to give you the floor to speak on this because when your brothers came on, LV was more vocal, you know, and I don't want to be incendiary.
He always been like that.
Yeah, but you know, LV was very vocal about you. Now he did give you props. He said, man, Havoc, he'll get out there, he'll talk, he'll make some shit happen. You know, and then he did say, but then he'll talk his way right out of it. But
but see, they talk about money that I ain't never seen a royalty check in my life. Right? You know, royalty check when you sell records like the 900,000 that Ingappu Trust and sold, the damn near gold that South Central Madness sold, the couple 100,000 that the living in the crime wave and the, a couple 100,000 that the Kicking Gang was one of our best albums to me. Right. All I ever seen was the budget money.
Yeah.
I never seen a royalty check. So how can you say I took some money from something I never received?
Yeah.
But you're caught up in my hustle.
Is that what his?
You get it?
Is that what his?
Caught up in my hustle.
Is that what his? Is that so? Because what I'm trying to identify, because he never specified, right? And I'm only saying this to clear the air, right? So where did you and LV's kind of contention start? What is that from? Him thinking you took something?
From him needing someone to blame for what other people's choices was. Remember, no moves could have been made without Prod saying it can happen. I'm never making a move without Prod's consent. Period. Because me and Prod is the ones that withstood everything. Even the times when other people saw me as competition, like Tommy and Rob did when they did the Prodigy Prodigal Son record. They didn't like me either. Everybody saw, instead of embracing and seeing my gift of having that hustle ability and giving me some flowers, they was too busy dressing me up as a dandelion. And I'm okay with that because you couldn't defy me with your word. See, when my ego got to the point to where you're saying all of this, I'm driving custom BMW, as you've seen on with big legs on the interview with BET. Oh, you're pretty close like Revlon. I'm the only one driving Revlon. You get it? I'm not driving Revlon from record sales.
Right.
I'm not driving Revlon from...
Because you still hustling at that time.
That's what I was trying to explain to you.
Yeah. So,
Dang, you called it. And so I'm able to go to the malls every day and buy the jewelry. Like I said, remember I was the only one on the pictures. I'm paying for all of it. This not coming. How can you beat somebody and you ain't made no money?
Right.
And then every budget we got, they got to cut off the upfront money. Listen to me. Then they want to get personal deals, and then even gratefully offer me a chance to come say, hey, Havoc, man, you know, we appreciate what you did, man. I want you to come hype up a song.
Yeah.
Here's a few $100. Like when I did stuff, I went out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shared the wealth.
Let me ask you, so have you guys ever, well, I'm sure you and Prodigy have, but have you and LV and Rhyme Son, have y'all ever like for real had a meeting of the minds as
I
brothers?
had a meeting of the mind with Rhyme Son. I did I'm working on a docu-film about the West Coast. 85% done. I got all of them. Even some of the people have passed now. I got stocks of interview footage where I was going to all the concerts. Because, you know, I'm hooked up with Bobby D. And I
Shout
know
out to
all,
Bobby D.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my boy right there. I get in any concert with him. You know what I mean? He even gave one of my artists the opportunity to perform, open up for the R&B Rewind with TLC and all that. But anyway, we was at USC doing a filming for the docu-film. And so it was a perfect opportunity for me to holler at Rhyme Son. You know what I mean? So we, you know, I just really was just trying to figure out why is it such animosity with you towards me? You know what I mean? And at the time, I'm more in a humbling position because I'm out of jail and I'm trying to find myself again. So I'm not in that intimidation position to where, you know, I'm, you know, where they looking at my hustle and what it shows from, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I used to be a little flossy, you
Right.
know what I mean? I had to, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
And so did y'all, were y'all able to?
And so we talked and he put it on his dead mother that we can move past it.
Okay.
So we decided to do a SCC reunion EP. So we over at Prod House, we working on trying to, you know, get some songs together, trying to get out of that old sound and, you know, debating and, you know, clashing, you know, but, you know, to make a great
in a
record.
creative way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Creative way.
Yeah.
And so Rhyme Son tells Young Prod, hey, I'm about to go get something to eat. So they outside the garage. He like, but yeah, man, I ain't getting Havoc nothing to eat. You know, Young Prod looked at him like, what? Oh, I ain't going. Right? Man, tell this nigga Havoc been fed us and fed you, nigga. And now he doing bad. Now you gonna say some, I'm not feeding him because now you in a better position than him. Because I'm fresh out of jail, I'm struggling. I'm going through God's journey.
Yeah.
So I'm not intimidated by it because I'm learning to accept what I've done. You get it?
Right.
And so we wound up scraping some money up to go to the studio. So we in the studio and he not knowing, he in the booth, right, talking about the engineer like a dog and the engineer testing the mic, listening to him. Engineer fucked our whole session up.
Damn. So
he's just negative.
Yeah.
He's just negative energy.
So even after y'all talked, he still had some type of ill feelings.
Right back.
Wow. Okay.
And after you put it on your mind.
Oh. Okay. Wow.
And so, I'm not saying this to like I'm just trying to say something to get me side with. Whatever I can remember I told you when I come here.
Yeah.
When I said that the one thing about me is I'm coming to tell my truth.
That's all.
Remember what I said? I'm not trying to
No.
Remember I told you that's there too.
Yeah, because I don't even do that. Like, I don't, that's why I'm treading very lightly, because I know that y'all got a history, y'all friends, y'all brothers, and family gonna have their issues.
And Young Prod gonna be my brothers forever.
Yeah.
Even after life.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because of their sister, their mother. I
Right.
still call her moms on Mother's
Right.
Day. You know, still call her, wish her happy birthday. She called, wishes me still happy birthday. I still talk to her sister, even though she's married now, moved on her life. My daughter still goes up to her house and call her my grandkids, her grandkids. She baby, you get it?
Yeah.
The love has not diminished, none.
That's beautiful.
But when it comes to the business aspect of it, I even have a little, sometimes I wanna, like I tried to go to Young Prod, Big Prod. Look, man, they're doing a lot of oldie shows now. I know Bobby D good. You know, he bringing, Bruce Lee even showed nowhere near the record.
For sure. Yeah.
And I can get us on some of these shows, me, you, and Young Prod.
Right.
Right? To put some money in the family's pocket, which y'all never done for me. Every show that they went and did that had some money, they never called me, knowing that I was out of jail, I was doing bad, but they steady going to make money and seeing me starve, man.
Now, let me ask you something, OG. I'm going to play devil's advocate, right? And I mean this respectfully, but just listening to it, right? So, on the flip side of that, what do they say? What is their reasoning for treating you like that? Are they saying that you're doing something? Are they saying
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
LVs come from when the deal with Def Jam came about. That's when his animosity got deep. But LV been jealous and envy of me way back from the hustling days.
Okay.
When I was hustling over there in 8-7, going over there buying the game of work, from the 8-7 gangsters that Prodigy brother is from. And, like I said, I've been, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So I was having the cutlasses and the cars and all that before.
So you feel like for LV, his discontentment for you comes from jealousy, basically.
Little envy, little, me being someone that lived in a different neighborhood, from a different city.
Yeah.
Being
able to cut. So basically,
long hair. I was handsome.
So you feel you feel like basically you came into his backyard and was able to surpass him, and he may feel a way about
that. Can be,
and I'm not saying that that's what it is. Right.
It can be a little, like when you make a stew or you make a gumbo.
Got you.
Right. It takes a little bit of everything.
Do you think that it could be rectified? Do you think y'all could all come together, talk it out, hash it out, and move forward? Or do you think it's irreparable with LV and
gotta take my glasses off again.
Because I would love to aid in that if that is possible. I would love to aid in everybody coming. Y'all can come, work it out, talk through it, cry, box, throw a fade, do the fade. If I know y'all niggas is old. I know y'all older now, but you know what I'm saying? Do you think that it could be fixed?
Honestly, man.
Yeah.
I have put more thought in this and probably than they will probably ever put in it. When I know God's working in the way he sees fit for me, I determine it by energy. Young Prod, love him. Had a video shoot. Oh, nigga, I'm coming through. Oh, you want me there? Oh, nigga, I pull up in the car, we're shooting the video. All right, let's go over here to this little club. Oh, yeah, you know what I mean? It's my nigga. I love Young Prod. LV there. So I go live, to promote the video, to show Young Prod doing this thing. And I was like, and LV in the video. So I, pan the LV, and he started clowning me on the live. And I'm like, you a grown ass, this is my personal thought. You're a grown ass man. 30-some years in my life. Never did nothing to you in my life. Nothing. Never beat you out of a nickel. All I ever did was put money in your pocket. And I just hopped in my truck and I left. And Young Pride called, where you at? Where you at? We going in. Like, I'll talk to you later, homie. So Young Pride knew instantly. Like, what happened? I was like, it's cool. Like, I don't want to, spoil the evening. Go through your, holler at you later. But yeah, he childish, immature. And then with the incident with Rhyme Time when we was at the Pride studio with the food thing, you know what I mean? I'm at a low point. Like God done humbled me. So, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm homeless in a sense. I don't have a car, nothing, bro. I'm at rock bottom, bro. When I say rock bottom, I don't got nothing. Nothing, dude. I lost everything when I got out of jail. God said, man, I'm taking all that. Everything. And then when I got out, he's like, you know what? That ain't enough. Get the shovel. Get down there. And that covered me up. And so I'm feeling all of that. You know what I mean? And then I got that energy of this ain't where you should be. And so some stuff was going on. Young Pride went over there to the garage, heard them talking, woo, 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 woo. Let me know what the deal, because he loved me. And I just started crying, like a kid. And I went to Pride mama and Young Pride mama house. And I said, hey, Emma, I love you. He said, what's wrong, Carrie? I'm crying. I just said, hey, I love you, Emma. And I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really done with this, for good. And Emma, I'll carry you. I love you. If it wasn't for you, they would never rule. You hear all of the things that everybody around them, sisters, brothers, and cousins, and moms, everybody will tell them. If it wasn't for Carrie. See, I'm being Carrie now. Fuck habit.
Right.
This is Carrie, the human being that didn't know what he was doing. I admit it. But I cared enough for them brothers to stay with it. Went to jail, prison. I don't blame them for them choices. But I did them things because I didn't want to let Big Pride down. Because I promised, man, just let me in. My big mouth. I put my foot in my mouth. But I want to come out with my foot out of my mouth. And I've done that. And so far as me ever like having anything to do with LV and Ryan Son, it has never happened, brother. Never. I wish them success. I wish them the best. LV gonna be paid for life. He got Gangsta's Paradise. And because of us, he got Gangsta's Paradise no matter what he feel. Brother, you got Gangsta's Paradise and you still whining. It's because of G's on the move, you got Gangsta's Paradise. I defied Russell Simmons and let you be on Gangsta's Paradise because we knew he didn't want you on our music. I want to prove to him he was wrong about you. But I didn't go out and put that energy out in the system. I put it out through the music. See, it's things that people never know that I do because I don't care to express it to nobody, to get some fake ass, oh, you did that? I don't give a fuck about it. I ain't got nothing to show for it. Nothing but the fact that I got knowledge that they can't do what I do. Period. LV can sing his ass off. I can't. But that nigga can't out-hustle me. That nigga can go out there and, blow choruses like a mug. But he can't make better songs than me. No, everything that I went through, I have mastered every aspect of the music game now. Not just a rapper, a producer, a hype man, a radio promoter. I can do it all. So I put my glory and my journey and where I'm at now and redefine my career. And so I have considered doing something with Pride, and I even did the song, the beat, did the cover, and it stalled. So when it stalled, what did that tell me? That ain't for you no more. Because when it's meant, it's easy. When it's meant, it's easy. It's not the in you. You know what I mean? And so when it stalled, it just let me know that it's just not for me no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm really at the point that I don't even have the joy in music like I used to, you know, because of my experiences in it now. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to do other things, getting into the book game, getting into the clothing line, getting into, you know, I'm working on trying to fund a couple of flicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing more or less, trying to get my personal life together, enjoying being a granddad to my beautiful grandkids, driving crazy, my daughter. You know what I mean? Living life a little more, traveling again, going to Catalania's places that's been here that I never even experienced. And, you know, man, like, shit, man, I'm up there now. You know what I mean?
But let me say this, OG. Let me give you this. And I appreciate your transparency with that. And I'm going to get this message to Carrie and Havoc, you know, and I get that. You may feel as if, you know, you didn't get, you know, the reciprocation. You didn't get the love back. You didn't get the appreciation. But
well, I didn't want no love.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. Let me tell you
what
this.
I wanted was the respect of what you do. Like you give it, people should respect it.
But let me tell you what you got in return, right? So because of you, right? Not solely because of you,
this my part.
but because of a good part of you, right? You were able to help facilitate a historic group called South Central Cartel, right? You,
First
Prodigy,
group,
all of y'all,
Jam,
right?
Coast,
but bigger than that, right? Because guess what? It was a kid in Kansas City, Missouri, 13, 14, 15 years old, listening to y'all, right? Who was inspired, you know, who was able to hear that and take that.
And that's beautiful.
That's what I'm finna tell you. And then incorporate that inspiration into his journey. Then he was able to take that little bit of something and build to where I have this, I have this platform.
And I see it.
So guess what? But he ain't the only one. It's that you talking about records that went gold and almost platinum. So you see where I'm going with that. So your influence and what you've done has touched millions. I'm not the only one that was inspired. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Trust me.
So guess what? You're here, full circle. 30 years ago, I heard you talking about a wet 40. Didn't know what the hell you was talking about. And here, still me being that 14-year-old kid, I'm able to sit down in front of someone who I admired as a kid. You know, so you reap
these flowers, man.
Yeah, so you reaped that. You, Prod, LV, you know, all of y'all, you know. I was honored to have them on the show, as I'm honored to have you on the show.
I want to see them, you know, successful in life.
I got to give you this, but the other side of that is, you know, so you got that through millions. I ain't the only one that'll tell you that. You'll see in the comments. You'll see in the comments under this video. But just on some real life shit, you know, I know what that's like when you feel like, man, I'm in a hole. I'm buried. Not only did God put me there, but he buried me. But guess what? You got planted so you could grow.
And that's what I didn't know at the time. See, God is so see, I didn't get to let that part out. Because remember what I said, I didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And now look at me, man. Look, I have prospered in so many ways, man.
Absolutely.
I'm not financially
straining. And guess what? Hold on. Guess where you prospered, though?
None of that. I don't have to.
And guess where you prospered? You prospered here and here.
Man. And,
you know what I'm saying?
And the energy is good.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
I don't feel that negative. My joy is fun again. I can laugh. I can joke.
Yeah.
And when I think about that, going back to that, all that goes away.
Yeah.
Everything that you built up just now, I want to keep the joy of what I helped build and let it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because it's like every time I go back or attempt or me, I'm saying me.
Yeah, it's more
See,
heartache.
all of them can go do it and they get along.
Yeah.
And there's a, you know, but when I come, the energy just, oh, here you come, you know, like, you know, that I bring it out of them, man. When, you know, I just bring it out, man.
So listen,
like, and I don't want to sound like I'm some better than somebody, or I'm just some, you know, I'm just confident, and I, you know, I have a good energy, and I like fun. I like, you know, making people smile and clowning, bag on them like we do in Chicago. Like I grew up different.
So listen, OG, I got two last questions. Well, not last, but just touching on the South Central Cartel thing. One, and as a fan, because see, you got to understand, what's sitting here is the grown man across from the OG, but then I'm also tapping into the 13, 14-year-old fan. You know what I mean? So talk to me about the gangsta team. And who put that together with Ice-T, Spice
Come
One,
on,
MC8?
I did that whole damn song.
So how did you go about putting that together?
Every feature song that we ever had with a guest rapper, I did. Every person that came on them songs came on there for me. Mm-hmm. Maybe with the exception of Ice-T. Ice-T knew all of us. Mm-hmm. Through Ryan Poetic Mafia and DJ H from Ryan Poetic Mafia, who produces a lot and down with the Ryan Syndicate. Mm-hmm. But Pac was my boy. I met Pac in Oakland at an E40 party. And we became cool because I was dating the owner of Triad Records. Her name was Georgette.
Georgette,
yeah. Georgette Willis. Yeah. I used to drive a white Benz.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, she lived in the little hills up there.
Man, listen, Georgette was...
I'm gonna let that go.
I was just Georgette is an enigma. Like, she was making moves. She was making moves. Yeah, she had Spice One, and she had I think Georgette did some shit with Gangsta Pat too. Yeah,
because she moved to Atlanta.
She moved to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Yep, that's
Look,
right.
Man, you ain't nothing you can tell me about her. Dude.
You know what? Georgette was making moves, but nobody knew her. Nobody knew who she was, though.
I was with her when I met Pac, and Pac said Havoc. He blew up. When he said it was Havoc.
Yeah.
Right? Because, Pac liked the SCC.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was about to say. Pac used to shout y'all out all the time.
Yeah, I was at the premiere of
On Representing, he shouted y'all out.
And Pac called me and he introduced me to Left Eye Roscoe. Mm-hmm. He had texted me and he called my house, and that's when Bridget, Prodigy's sister, answered the phone. She always tell the story. Who is this? Oh, this Tupac. And who is that? He always say that. So when I pull up there, that's when he had introduced me to Left Eye. And I got cool with Left Eye. Yeah. And then she introduced me to Andre Rison. Yeah. That's when she was dating Andre Rison.
That's right. Give me a story. Give me a memorable story that you have about Pac just being around.
Oh, well, we was doing the gangster team, and I was leaving to go pick up Spice One. Mm-hmm. He was shooting the Trigger Gas No Heart video with the Hughes brothers. Mm-hmm. And so Pac had walked out in front of me, right, because 8 had just walked in, right, and Ice-T was on his way. So as soon as 8 got out the booth and Greg Royal, who mixed the Chronic, was mixing his verse, right, and then Ice-T was rapping because the song was called West Coast Massacre. Mm-hmm. That was the song when I went to Pac and at the Marriott, and I took him the cassette with the beat on there. Mm-hmm. And I said the name of it is West Coast Massacre. If you listen to what Pac say, you can't fuck with the West Coast Massacre. Yeah, right. That's the original title.
Yeah.
But when Ice-T was rapping, he said you can't fuck with the gangsta team. Yeah. And I said, Greg Royal, change the title
to the gangsta team. Of course. Okay.
Change that title to the gangsta team.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm leaving, and I'm going out to hop in my car, and Pac and them was getting ready to leave too. And Pac said, where you going? I'm about to go pick up Chico. And he was like, you know where Chico and them at? Like, yeah, nigga, I know where Robert at, nigga.
Yeah.
He like,
Fetty Chico.
Yeah, Fetty Chico.
Yeah.
So we I hop in the car with them, and we stop at Fat Burgers right there. Mm-hmm. And right there with a little split up right there with a hotel right there, the little small one in the corner on La Cienega right there. So he's making some calls, right? So he pull out a big quarter-pound of weed, we smoking and we eating Roscoe's, right? And he just making phone calls like a motherfucker. I'm taking more niggas for the video, right? Nigga, I'm rolling with Pac, nigga. We just got them shooting the video here shot, the LA video or whatever. So we driving. So I'm telling them where to get off at on 3rd Street right there. Because we was going right there by the ravine where Dodge is at. Mm-hmm. It was maybe about 5 blocks from Glam Slam. There used to be Prince Club. Mm-hmm. So we pull up and Spice shooting this big scene with the big green screen. You know, he had a big ass green screen. So I run over there, hop in there with Spike. You know, I'm standing out there, till got no heart, I'm clowning, right? Next thing you know, I hear motherfuckers, woo, pop cussing them out, right? Next thing you know, one of the Hughes brothers running, they chasing him, parking them, stomping the other Hughes brother out, and Spike look at me and be like, damn, who bought Park here? And I look, and I said, why? And he looking at me, Spike, you know, that's my guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, that's fucked up. I ain't say shit.
Yeah.
So the next day we had MC8 video on Santa Monica doing Straight Up Menace. Straight Up Menace.
Yeah.
And so they don't like me. So I goes up to the Hughes brothers, one of them all. Other than all cool, other than all fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, what happened? I was like, man, you left your brother like that? I said, that's fucked up, man. Me and my brother would have to get back to back, nigga, and take them niggas together. Like, you know, I don't know. And they never liked me, never invited me to be in nothing. But I did still they glory at the Source Awards. Remember I was telling you I was there with Pop, the first one. And so they called 8 out to get the award for Straight Up Minute for the video. I ran out there, my nigga, hey, nigga, I'm on nigga, my girl mad at me, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, you got me on camera. I'm like, yeah, come on. Brother say you crazy, Abby. Nigga, I was up there with Snoop, Dash, Corrupt, all of us, you know, backstage, smoking, getting high. And then that's when Pac went out there and was like, out on bail, nigga, threw it down. That's when Suge was up there. I was like, man, and Suge got love for me, though.
Yeah, I was about to ask, did you ever have any dealings or run-ins with Suge?
Oh, all the time. Good run-ins.
Yeah.
Suge had love for me.
Yeah, me too. Every time I ran into Suge, it was always super cool.
Respect.
Yeah.
Even sent stuff for the event I did at the Boys and Girls Club, where I donated money and did the Murder Squad, No Peace album with Balls. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
You know, it was Chair from Ryan Poetic Mouth. Ice-T. I had a little Ice-T drive doing a drive-by on the big wheel at the time. And Suge was cool though, man. I liked the Suge, man.
Yeah.
When I first met Suge, he scared the shit out of me.
Yeah?
Yeah, he scared the shit out of me.
How?
We was in Atlanta. And this when right before Luke and them started fighting. I was right there. I watched them come through the Marriott door, through the swivel doors, both of them, Luke and them. Nigga, I'm dead. I watched the whole fight start. I watched the whole melee. Not know what you heard.
Yeah. So give us a play by what happened.
So I'm sitting there and I'm kicking it, right? And so my sister creeps up on me and she was like, who this? And I knew it was one of my sisters. I said, it's my sister, Toy. And I looked and it was my sister, Toy, right? So she said, hey, bro, we was kissing around. I have a good time. So I'm sitting there kicking and then Dad, Corrupt, Ray, and all of them saw me and was like, hey, what's up, Havoc? So we all talking. Snoop was up in the room or something, but I'm talking to them. And then I see this big motherfucker, right? Come walking with a red shirt on, right? Straight that road, right? I'm like, what the fuck is that, right? Like, that nigga big, right? So he get up there and he's like staring me down like he wanted to work me or something, like, you know what I mean? I'm looking like, damn, I ain't got my pistol or nothing, right? So he was like, who is you? And I was like, oh, I'm Havoc from SCC. You know, I had the bass was gone and everything, right? He was like, oh, man, like his whole demeanor changed. He was like, oh, what's up? And he's like, I was like, okay, cool. Like, and ever since then, man, Suge always gave me love. Man, he done pulled up on me on the highway. I'm on the freeway going to Santa Monica. Suge done pulled up on me. I'm like, damn, this nigga somebody trying to shoot me. He was in a blue Suburban. All 10. Let down the window, nigga, with Suge. I see you, Havoc. I'm like, hey, what's up, Suge?
Suge did me the same way. I used to see Suge all the time at the Polo Lounge in Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay.
And one time I was coming up when we lived in Encino. I was coming up Sepulveda, and so I see a car riding on side of me, same way.
Yeah.
And he pulled up next to me, rolled his window down, And I was like, oh, that's Suge. And but you know how I'm rolling.
That's
I got my I got my pistol in my lap,
Me
right?
too.
So I'm like, so when he wrote it down, he was like, I see you. I was like, oh, what's up, OG? I was like, yeah, what's going,
We was
and
going
so it was
west on
always
a
love on the
motherfucking
scene.
10.
Yeah. No,
West
that's
on
dope.
the 10.
That's
I
dope.
done been on his yacht, the little one with all the red.
Yeah.
And then I seen him at when he was messing. He was having a birthday party for his son by Michelet.
Yeah.
You know Michelet is Prod's first cousin too.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
that's Prod's cousin.
Oh, wow.
Michelet.
Okay.
I remember when she wasn't even talking like that.
She didn't always have the baby voice?
She didn't sound like that when I first met her way back in the when they lived over there on 92nd.
Really? She talked regular?
Like it was like she didn't talk like the way she talks now.
Oh,
she
damn.
talked more like her voice like I don't know. It just the way it had
that baby voice wasn't there.
Yeah, I guess it developed to that.
So this was before she went to Ruthless?
This way before all the singing.
Oh, wow. Wow. So, man, fast forward. What you got cracking now, OG?
Man, I'm out the way, man. Just working on. I had developed a couple of artists, and the music game is just so different now, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of these artists don't understand the work it takes, and it's not a lot of money in streaming, and so when you're trying to spend the money to make money. And you don't have artists who want to go out here and do these shows to help generate the real money in today's game. It's just hard, man.
How are you adjusting to this digital age coming from?
I mean, I've been adjusted to it. It's just, it was steady evolving. You know what I mean? When the digital game got into it, it was never set. Right? Because when you came out of the CD era and the bootleg damn near destroyed the industry, the early on people like CD Babies and Red distributors got advantage and started creating the technology of streaming to sell music because of how the CDs and people bootlegging CDs was,
And you cut costs. You don't have to manufacture hard costs.
Right. So it was a big transition. And so it wasn't mastered either, the transition. And so as it got better and better, because CD Babies used to sell music. Now they're strictly
streaming.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Universal bought half of them. So because they mastered the technique. So what the big companies do, they let you do all the work because they got all the money. So you work, we buy, and now we multiply.
Yeah, let me ask you, who owns the catalog to South Central Cartel's music now?
Right now, the first records is illegally being on South Central Madness. I don't own no rights to Kicking Gang, but I own the master rights, which I'm fighting now. They can't even make streaming money because it's held up right now.
Yeah.
I own I pay for the master recording of South Central Madness. I pay for the master recording of Kicking Gang. I pay for the master recording of that right there, Concrete Jungle. Also, the Murder Squad Nationwide. That whole pretty much 80% of that album I paid for. And got the feature rappers. Pac wouldn't even take my money.
Yeah, he wouldn't even charge you for the feature.
I mean, I handed him $2,000. He was like, man, I did that for you.
Oh, that's love.
Yeah,
that's love. So do the In Gats We Trust, and especially even at South Central Madness, it should revert back to you guys.
Well, In Gats We Trust was recorded by Def Jam. We can get that back, but that's gonna be like a group thing,
right?
Where we have to sit down and argue, because they the only one really put in a lot of work, man. And besides me, it's Pride, man. And I'm not giving up no masters to somebody that ain't don't deserve that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They ain't giving me nothing they got. They ain't shared now publishing beat, now publishing writer they wrote. I ain't never got a nickel of none of that.
Wow.
So I'm not giving up a nickel of mine.
Yeah.
And I want my master. And I'm fighting for him.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'm going through the ringer about that because I didn't know no better.
Right. So you also getting into films too, you mentioned.
Yeah, I got I'm working on some funding for the book that I got, Ghetto Kids. Probably got a copy in the background right there. But it was written by an artist that was signed to my label, Shakilla. I put it out through my priority deal. You know, I had to deal through priority.
Okay.
Yeah, and I put out a Young Murder Squad. I did a group called Young Murder Squad and Shakilla. That's when I met Dave, Weiner, and Duffy, who put out Master P.
Exactly. Yeah, and, Dave Weiner, that's my guy.
Yeah, they cool as fuck, man. I like them, man. They was cool, man. I used to hang out with them at Priority over there on Sunset there in the CNN building.
So I want to do something real quick. I just want to run through a roll call. A roll call of who Havoc the Mouthpiece has had your hands on that we've heard. A roll call of everybody that you'd had a hand in them being who they are and who we've known them to come to be.
Well, I wouldn't say that I made their careers, but
or had a hand in.
Right.
I'm saying.
Okay, Spice one. We had a lot to do with being around when MC8, because we had the same attorney. We was in the same building when I met Willie James, and we kind of elevated together and projects and music on some 8 projects as well. Big Mike Ghetto Boy, did some work with him, Jail Felony, did some work with BG Knockout, Gangsta Drayster, did some work with Threats United by Nature, Balls, did some work with Ann Banks, Ryan Poetic Mafia, Don Green, she sung the chorus on the Tales from the Hood soundtrack.
Oh, that was my shit. The Hood got me feeling the blues.
Pain,
That's feeling the pain. That was my shit.
That's a
classic.
Great song. We would have had the first single for that, but it was waiting too long to get it cleared, and then they wound up pushing that sweet potato pie.
Okay, Domino.
Domino.
Yeah. Shout out to Domino.
Yeah, man, Domino was another good brother too. Yeah, man, just a lot. Just working in the grind, just being in the streets, seeing a lot of them groups develop, like Above the Law, back around when I used to see Title T and Mismaster Spade. Like I was following all of that, like vividly, like, going to the swap meets and, looking at all the music that was out, always listening to K-Day, And, then your knowledge started to grow, and then the Uncle Jam Army era, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I started to really start to dibble in it, around 86, when my form or my seed started to get involved in music, and then really started getting in it, probably like 88, 89, really moving and making good music at the time.
So real quick, wrapping it up. Who is Havoc's top 5?
Wow, man, that's
dead or alive. Top 5.
Dead or alive, man. Wow. Okay, I love the Ghetto Boys. They sound was something I followed as far as the music. Because they were from the South. And back then, biting and sounding like somebody else
couldn't do that.
Prohibited.
That's right.
And so I was real keen on, liking to hear different styles of music. So the Ghetto Boys would be one.
Shout out to Willie D. That's a partner of mine.
Big Mike, my boy, and rest in peace, 3-2. He was on the Murder Squad album. I would say I like. This is very hard. The West Side Connect. I like the way they created them 3 different styles with Dub C and Mac 10. I can dance underwater and not get wet. Boy, that's a classic line for me. I really dug that whole West Side Connect thing. In Chicago, I dug Twister and Soul for Do or Die.
Do or Die.
Do or
Yeah.
Die. And them two there, you know, they kind of gave a Chicago style.
Yeah.
You know, being one of the fastest rappers.
That's right.
He was spitting, you know what I mean?
Twister's dope. Yeah.
And then in the South, I would have to, you know, I liked it. My sister and them used to love Chi-Lite. Come on, you know, that wasn't really me. I more like the Ludacris.
Yeah.
I kind of dug the Jermaine Dupri sound there, so I was kind of, you know, feeling that a lot. And then a lot of you know, groups was moving to Atlanta, like my boys, 95 South, the Chill Deal Boys was their original name. Oop, there it is.
Yep.
You know, they started off with us over there at Quality with Russ Regan.
Yep.
So, you know, they was helped developing that South sound, which was trying to get, you know, their mark in the hip hop. Because the East Coast started it while the West was developing and then carried the torch. Then Chicago, you know, eventually came last, and you know, the North and the South blew up. Then the North caught on, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because Kanye helped build that up, you
Right.
know? And I kind of didn't like Common. Had a little, when he did the little line he made on one of the songs, and then we was in what was that? Wrong. And I tried to catch him. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Who is it? It's Havoc from SCC, man. What you got against gangsta rap, nigga? I ain't hear shit out.
Yeah.
It was wrong. True story.
Yeah. So you ran up on Common, or you tried to?
No, I just went and knocked on this whole. We was at the. We was there for a festival for a spray can. You know how they call it, like graffiti art.
Yeah.
And wrong. It's like they got great. Like they really. And so we was there to perform for the event. And so, because he had that song, so I knew we just go fuck with him, you know?
Yeah.
So I was just being a
just fucking with him. Yeah.
But I didn't know, I wasn't going to really do nothing.
Yeah.
So I was just fucking with him, see what type of mother. He's from Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nigga, I'm from Chicago, though.
Yeah. Let me ask you, what do you represent? You represent Chi or South Central or both?
Well, I'm always represent Chef. You look in a lot of the videos, I had on Cubs, here. And the tail from the hood, I had on White Sox. Yeah,
right. That's a fact. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm diehard Chicago, but I love LA. You know what I mean?
It's same with me. I'm from Kansas City, you know, from Missouri.
But I love Cali's home now.
Yeah,
like,
but Cali's home.
Chicago ain't
that's right.
Can't take the place of where I'm at now.
Right.
It only can
same
be the
with
place it was.
Yeah.
Because my mom and my father gave birth to me there.
Yeah, same
that
with
was
me.
The path they gave for me. And now California is my path that I gave for myself.
Right.
And so if I had to make a choice on what life I would want to live at, heads up. You know, California, man.
Same with me.
Man, Chicago, I love you, but hey.
Same with me.
Man,
so
I love my folks. You know what I'm saying? I'm always
you say you love your folks, huh?
Yeah, I love my folks. Man.
I hear you over there.
Yeah, Wild Hunters, man. They know. They pulled up. I was doing the show with Usher and Soul For Real, me and Prodigy, right? And so we had just got pulled over by the police on the Dan Ryan, right? We racing. I'm in a Renault Lexus, and we was late. They got the undercover gang patrol chasing us on the highway. Nigga, they got us all lined up on the freeway, my nigga, on the side of the freeway. Me, Far, they got us all. Nigga, we want to wait till the show with us. And do a show, right? Yeah. So we all on the side of the freeway, hands on there, the gang patrol, like, what the hell is y'all doing out here? We like, man, we not from here. I like, but I'm from here. Yeah. And they was like, well, what's wrong, man? Y'all crazy, man. Like, what? We like, man, we got a show, we late. Yeah. Man, we know, like, who are y'all? We like, we South Central Cartel. And the police like, who? We like, we South Central Cartel. Yeah. He was like, the ones that seen Gang Story? We was like, yeah, we SCC. We want to do a show right now. He said, man, hold it. Oh, man, hey, let them go.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he brushing us off like, man, we bumping your shit, chasing you. Nigga, on my mama, man. The police was chasing us, bumping our song.
Wow, yeah, Gang Story is a classic.
Man, Gang, he was bumping Gang.
Classic.
They said they had, look, and they had the cassette to Gang Story.
Yeah, that's
sure
what's
did.
up.
Had me and Pride, us nigga had a book on it because they had already pulled what's in them over, and I had passed them by, and then next thing you know, here come another one. At me.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Yeah, they let us go.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah,
that's shout like, they're like, oh, okay. They let us go and give us no ticket.
Yeah.
And then, we did a show with Soul for Real and Usher and on Holdin.
That's dope. That's dope. So listen, I'm glad you came, OG, that we could give you your flowers.
Man, I've been wanting to, really do this and get it out, man. But what I really want to say in the end, man, being a part of SCC, man, do have it's great parts to it. It's great memories to it for me. Something that I'm always be grateful for the opportunity to be involved in help carving whatever piece that, time will reveal what I was to it, you know what I'm saying? And what my legacy would eventually, turn out to be. Because as I noticed, as the legacy of music evolves and gets to where music is now, our music is becoming like my daddy's music is becoming like the music before my daddy became, and the music before their music became. It's an evolving situation. And as you become a part of the evolution of the evolving, when you make great music like our music is, and I would never deny the fact that we make some shit. Like our shit is good as anybody music out there. Whether we didn't have the radio recognition that a lot of the groups who are big as they are, because they got radio recognition.
Right.
But when it comes to street recognition, SCC is top 3, period. NWA, Ghetto Boys, SCC, period. Down the road, you can name, the, other groups, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are the poster child of gangster rap, which we call reality rap.
Right.
But we're the poster. We wanted to pay the dues to where you can be on the radio because they banned us. You know what I mean?
Right.
We opened up doors for the Warren G's to be signed to Def Jam. Even though Russell never signed another group out of the West Coast except SCC, he allowed Lee Orr to tap into the market for Def Jam. Because Russell started doing other things, movies and the clothing line, Fat Farm, restaurants, whatever Russell was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, man, I don't want people to think that there's an ungratefulness and what each member in the group, eventually came to do, and whatever they feelings are about it, or whatever they might not felt they got or didn't, deserve. All I want to say to them is, hey, I did everything I can to put us in a position to get whatever it is that God would have gave us. And if we didn't get it, it wasn't because of me. It wasn't because of me. If anything, it's because of what God chose for each and our path.
Right.
And so, man, even though I will never, ever do another song with LB or Ryan Son, man, I wish them two brothers the best. And, pretty much with Pride and LB, man, it's probably at the end of the road with that too. You know what I mean? Because, man, I'm 60, man. Like rapping for me and getting on music, man. It's like, like being desperate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And I did a couple of new songs, man, and I mean they hot. You feel me? But it's only hot because it's what I like.
Right.
But is the public gonna like it? Or, me trying to go track some 1990 fans ain't gonna happen either. They either old, dead, handicapped, you know what I mean, or whatever. They ain't, speaking.
Right.
But maybe in a movie or someone doing a a movie about the 80s,
Yeah.
the 90s.
Right.
You know, I can hold them for a soundtrack or something.
Right.
So, you know, it's
That's
always
right.
a purpose for something, and my love for it ain't gonna never falter. But I'm like I said, I'm trying to move on and,
Yeah.
and find new paths to redefine my end game.
Got you.
Would you like to see a biopic?
They done one, but everybody like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
They did it. They did a movie on South Central Cartel.
No, they did like a documentary prior when they did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, they did a movie on South Central Cartel, and they wanted to get what's the name of played me? I think he'll play me good. What's the little light skinned dude with the I can't think of his name. Oh God, he just redid the Ice Baby song.
I don't know him.
Oh
Yeah.
yes you do. Damn. He light skinned and he got a baby. He met one of the Kardashians. The little rapper dude, he light skinned and got the look. Not Travis Scott. He met the other one. Damn, I'm just gonna come to his name, but he looked like me back in the day because he got his hair with the braids.
Yeah.
I used to wear my hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, man, if they was to do a movie on it and they want to pay me, you know, to put my role in it,
Yeah.
you know, as long as I ain't got to be around no
Yeah.
Tiger. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Tiger
Tiger.
can play me.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
He could.
let Tiger be the mouthpiece.
He could. Yeah. But I don't know. Tiger you had a rougher vibe. You know what I mean? More aggressive.
But Tiger can be that for the acting role.
Yeah.
See, he got the light skinned look with the hair, the good hair.
Yeah.
See, my hair was.
I remember. Yeah.
And so when you put Tiger in there and he's an actor, he can't be the soft type of Tiger.
Yeah.
You see him.
Yeah.
He has to transform for the role of being happy.
Right. That's right. That's
you
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just like if Chris Brown played, you know, because I'm working on doing the Chi-Lite movie, the biopic for the Chi-Lite.
Nice.
And I was talking to Chris Brown when his ass was in France when he got in that shit, that incident with the girl. He just got off the phone with them.
Wow.
Yeah, man, he want that $5 million.
So on that note, man, hey, listen, OG, because these cameras gonna cut off in a minute.
All
So
right.
listen, I appreciate you stopping through, man. As much love. I'm glad that we could give you your flowers. And listen, this is home for you. Anytime you want to come through, talk about anything, you want to promote
I
anything,
want the green flowers,
whatever, man.
I want the kind that you can roll it up in the bleedy, man. Them kind of flowers I like.
Yeah, you gotta talk to this one about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. You heard? And it's been amazing, man. And I'm just
thank you, brother.
very, man, humbly grateful that me and you was able to, you know, get past, you know, to the truth of, you doing your show, and I get it. And being honest enough to say, hey, man, that ain't how I get down, but look, man, you come in and do your thing.
That's right.
And I feel right off the top, I'm not here to bash nobody.
Yep.
I just want to tell my truth, and I thank you for allowing me. And, you know,
anytime,
God bless,
brother.
Man. If you need me again, man, or want
I
to
appreciate
come
it,
to
brother.
my movie set, if I get the movie deal.
Let me know.
and
However
show
I can
some
be
love
of
to help
service.
build your
Yes,
network,
for sure.
or you need a hookup or a contact on somebody.
Oh, I'm already
I
knowing.
got everybody.
I'm already
hooked
knowing.
up.
Yeah, I'm already knowing. I appreciate that, OG.
Yeah.
So on that note, listen, it's Big Court, the Holdin Court Podcast, Rachel Renee, Havoc, the Mouthpiece, the OG, man.
The game changer.
Yeah, so we out of here, man. Salute.
All right, salute.